fellow Aussians. So today's movie I'm discussing on the channel is one of the most anticipated titles of 2024. It's a film that has been in the making for quite some time now, but it's finally here. It's John M Chu's adaptation of the beloved Broadway musical Wicked Part 1, or Act 1, I guess. Yeah, after you see this film, you're gonna have an intermission that lasts about a year or so before you get to watch Part 2 or Act 2. I know in the Broadway sphere this is a very, very popular title indeed. Yes, pun very much intended. And I'm sure a lot of you watching already know the plot of Wicked. But for those of you that don't, Wicked is the untold story of the Witches of Oz. The story follows Elphaba, played in this film by Cynthia Erivo, who is a misunderstood young woman because of her green skin, and Glinda, played in this film by Ariana Grande, who is a popular girl, and the two of them are paired together as roomies at the Shiz University in the land of Oz, and the two of them become friends. But after an encounter with the wonderful Wizard of Oz, played in this film by Jeff Goldblum, their friendship reaches a crossroads. And that is all the plot that you need to know. I took my friend Christina to the multimedia screening of the film last night, and by the time Cynthia Erivo belted out that final "oh, whoa" note and it cut to black, we were in bits. Like, I'm talking goosebumps, chills, shivers, crying, you name it, okay? We were wowed. Director John M Chu has done a phenomenal job of making a truly cinematic adaptation of the Broadway show. The Wicked fans are gonna love this film, but for the casual moviegoers, I think they're probably gonna get swept up in the magic of it all as well. Now, this film isn't without its flaws, so I'm just gonna get them out of the way now, so please don't be offended by my frank analysis. I do think that as a movie, it is a bit too long, which is funny because this is only half the story. But yeah, some of the new scenes that they've added don't really add that much other than padding. I also wasn't a fan of the cinematography in this film. For a world that's as vibrant as the merry old land of Oz, the color palette of the cinematography was so blech, very hazy and almost desaturated in some places. It is paradoxical to have ugly visuals in a Wizard of Oz story. That is a big old sin in my books. And some of the visual effects in this do look a little bit rushed, but the CGI in this didn't actually bother me all that much because it's only really used when absolutely necessary, like when you've got flying monkeys and stuff like that. But it's also counteracted by the fact that there is so much impressive practical set design in this film. What's wonderful about Wicked is just how much of this was done practically. Entire sets were built for Munchkinland, Shiz University, and the Emerald City. John M Chu really enriches the world building and the lore of Oz by giving it so much texture. You look at the sets in this film and you want to go there yourself. It would have been easier, faster, and cheaper for John M Chu to shoot the majority of this film on a soundstage with a load of blue screens, but the joyful thing about giving actors something real that they can step into is they don't have to pretend. You can see it on their faces, the joy of being on these magical and awe-inspiring sets. Fittingly, that's cinematic magic. It breathes life into a picture. It's something that no amount of visual effects can replicate. Sorry to Jeff Goldblum, but John M Chu is the real wizard of Wicked. Because what he does with the musical set pieces in this film is spellbinding. John M Chu already proved within the Heights that he knows how to pull off a dazzling musical number, but here in Wicked, he has really outdone himself. He executes all of his musical set pieces with kinetic flair, motion, and emotion. The blocking, the camera movements, the choreography, they all synchronize together harmoniously in this film. One minute I'm craning my neck as Jonathan Bailey's Fiyero is like tumbling around this practical rotating library set while singing Dancing Through Life. The next I'm weeping at an almost silent dance number between Glinda and Elphaba. And don't even get me started on the show-stopping spectacular rendition of Defying Gravity, which actually manages to surpass the stage musical moment. John M Chu, I tip my hat to you. You directed the hell out of this movie. Well done. Before we continue down the yellow brick road, if you guys want to be my personal wizard and grant me my heart's desire of reaching 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year, then please do help support my channel by hitting that little subscribe button for me and the little thumbs up button if you're enjoying the video. Really does help and it means a lot to me. But the truth is, this movie wouldn't work as well as it does if you didn't care about the characters of Elphaba and Glinda. And I'm just gonna say this once. Perfect casting. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande-Butera are astonishing in this, both together and separately. Cynthia Erivo is a powerhouse as Elphaba. She brings a great deal of sympathy to the role as a disenfranchised girl finding her voice and her place in the world. And that girl can sing, okay? There were numerous times in this while she was singing which sent shivers down my spine. But honestly, Ariana Grande-Butera was the real surprise. One thing I should know from the source material of Wicked is not to be prejudiced, but I don't know, I went into this film with preconceived notions that Ariana Grande was gonna be fine in this, I thought she'd be competent, because I know she can sing, okay, she is a pop star, but there's a difference between, a pop star singing and a Broadway musical theater actress singing. I also didn't know if she would have the acting chops to back it up. Admittedly, I was a little skeptical about her casting, but I am so happy that I was proven wrong. This woman is annoyingly and unfairly talented, okay? Leave some talent for the rest of us. She can sing, she can act, she can dance. She was amazing in this, and I think part of the reason I enjoyed this film so much is because of how unexpected it was to see how good she was in it. To all the Ariana Grande stans watching this video, you were right, okay? You made me change my point of view on her, okay? There's something that very rarely gets said on the internet. I was wrong, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. But you can tell as you watch this film that Erivo and Grande-Butera have a deep love and respect for these characters and for each other. Their chemistry together is impeccable. It starts off quite prickly, but soon melts into an authentic sisterly bond. And I really got this sense as I was watching Wicked that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were born to play these roles. Truly. Also, the two of them sang live whilst filming this on set. I mean, what a flex. It's so evident that a lot of care and passion went into making this film. And it's the little details, way too many to catch on just one sitting, which make the film feel very special. From the literal start with the Universal logo going from sepia tones into Technicolor luminescent green, to the font of the Wicked title card, which is a throwback to the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz. The opening shot of this film has a literal over the rainbow moment with some unexpected guests popping by for a delightful cameo, and that's not the only cameo. The Wicked fans are sure gonna love the casting of Glinda's mum in this. Keep your eyes open. But even in the mise-en-scène of the film, there is so much foreshadowing hidden in plain sight with the silhouettes of certain characters, or like a shard of glass from a broken window resembling a pointy witch's hat, or the way that some benches are laid out during one scene at Shiz University. So much thought, energy, and effort went into giving the die-hard Wicked fans a film where they'll want to come back to it again and again to find all the hidden Easter eggs and hidden gems. Do let me know in that comment section below your favorite Wicked Easter eggs. All right, shall we talk about its Oscars chances? Yes, I do think this film is going to be a player at the Academy Awards, and I do think it could potentially even win in a couple of categories. I just want to start by saying that John M Chu deserves to be in the discussion for Best Director. His direction in this film is dazzling, particularly in the musical sequences. So many times I found myself just smiling from ear to ear because of his direction. Okay, he has delivered movie magic with this film, and I would love to see him acknowledged for Best Director. That's a nomination that I really want to see happen, but I'm not sure if it will just yet, but I'm manifesting it for him. The categories where it's bound to get nominated are in the techs and the crafts, so costume design, production design, hair and makeup, sound, even visual effects might have a chance, even though I thought they were a bit hit or miss. And I think it could potentially win for costume design and production design. Paul Tazwell's costume designs are so extravagant, and not just on Glinda and Elphaba, but every supporting artist in this film is dressed to the nines. And I really loved looking at the little details of each costume, like the bubbles that are on the edges of Glinda's big pink dress, or the jagged structure of Elphaba's black dress. Stunning. But yeah, some of the set design in this movie took my breath away. In terms of size and scale, we don't often see entire worlds constructed for movies these days. But Nathan Crowley has done a wonderful job of bringing the world of Oz to life. As for the above the line categories, Ariana Grande-Butera has to be getting into Best Supporting Actress, okay? She is the only one of the three G-pop stars between Gaga, Gomez, and Grande-Butera who I can see getting a nomination for acting. There is simply no denying how good she is in this film. And I think because she's proved the skeptics like me wrong, she will be rewarded with an Oscar nomination. This is a triple threat performance where Grande-Butera's skill set is firing on all cylinders. Not just her mellifluous singing, but her acting chops, and also her comedic timing as well. Glinda is self-obsessed, vain, and socially tone-deaf. She's a mean girl, disguised as cotton candy. But Grande-Butera still manages to make her so likable. She's just so damn charming in this, okay? She had me laughing at every hair flick, every eyelash flutter. There's even a shot in this where she's just running in the background, and even that made me laugh. She just has this airy, effervescent physicality, which is just so funny to watch. She pays tribute to the performers who played Glinda before her, but also manages to put her own stamp on it, finding levels of depth in an otherwise very shallow character. So yeah, a nomination I am quite confident on, but could she go all the way and win? Oh, that is a topic for another video, which I will get around to later in awards season. But honestly, as of right now, she is my personal pick to see win Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars. I'm not saying she will, but she's who I would like to see win. And that is something I never thought I would hear myself say. Academy Award winner, Ariana Grande, for acting. Part of me would just love to see that happen. It kind of feels a bit like a fantasy, but I could actually see it happening. I am here for it. As for Cynthia Erivo, she will most certainly be in the conversation for Best Actress. You would think that both of them would come as a pair for nominations, because they're both so good in this. But the problem is, for Erivo, it's much more crowded and competitive in Best Actress than it is for Best Supporting Actress this year, okay? It's much easier for Grande to get in than it is for Erivo. Because Erivo is going up against some serious competition this year with Maggie Madison, Nicole Kidman, Angelina Jolie, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Demi Moore. Okay, it's very crowded this year in Best Actress, and she might struggle to get into the 5. But never say never. But what about Best Picture? I think it is possible that Wicked could show up in the Best Picture lineup. This movie is going to be liked and it is going to make money. And usually in the Best Picture lineup, there are 1 or 2 box office behemoths. So there is a very real chance that Glicked, Gladiator 2 and Wicked, could be the Barbenheimer this year and both show up in Best Picture. They're crowd pleasers and they're money makers, okay? People are actually gonna go watch these movies, okay? And it's good to have a few films in the Best Picture lineup where the average movie-going member of the public actually went to go and see. So I do think it could happen. And I know this is a fun popcorn movie musical, but the themes of this film couldn't be more timely. Having a fascist leader, having someone to give the masses a common enemy to hate just so they can stay in power, stripping certain citizens of their rights just because they're different from them. The timing of this film's release, just 2 weeks after the US election results, is kind of spooky, okay, and only makes this film's message hit with even more impact. So who knows, given the current political climate in America, maybe Wicked is going to speak to voters on an even deeper level now. So yeah, I could see it showing up in Best Picture. So yeah, I'm feeling that Wicked will probably get somewhere around 5 to 7 Oscar nominations, but what do you guys think? How many Oscar nominations is Wicked gonna get, and for what categories? Is Ariana Grande-Butera an actual contender for Best Supporting Actress, or am I just being silly? Whatever you have to say, let me know in that comment section down below. I love hearing from you guys. All right then, let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Absolutely. Glenn was a little disappointed I couldn't take him to the multimedia screening, but I said to him, I am more than happy to go watch this again with you, and we're actually going to watch it a 3rd time when we go to Australia for Christmas with my 2 little nieces as well. So yeah, I'm going to see this like 3 times in the cinema. I will be adding it to the collection as well. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Absolutely, okay, this movie is for the Wicked fans, but for casual moviegoers as well, I think you're probably gonna enjoy this. The themes are very universal. Prejudice, loneliness, jealousy, friendship, and self-acceptance. What's not to love? Plus, the actual filmmaking is some of the best of the whole year. I highly recommend this one for everyone, okay? Go see it in a cinema, go sing your heart out. And question number 3, what score to give it out of 10? Wicked ended up surprising me in more ways than one. Ugly visuals, cinematography, and bloated runtime aside, this was a joyous cinematic experience with astounding performances from Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande-Butera. Wicked doesn't just fly, okay? It soars. So I'm gonna give Wicked Part 1 a score of 8 out of 10. But as always, guys, it is just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear from you. Are you excited for Wicked? Have you seen it? If you have, what do you think of this movie? Whatever you have to say, do let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, do help me out by hitting the little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars-related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time.